recently out on a walk in my neighborhood, and I was walking down my street and I noticed at the end of someone's driveway there was a bunch of stuff with a label free, and I found this book called The Creative Process, and it ended up being mostly about creative writing. Now I'm inspired to start creative writing practices. I think if you are a creative writer and you're in this writer's block mode and you sit down and you stare at your blank piece of paper, you don't know what to write, no ideas are coming to you, I really recommend this book because in it goes through these exercises that you can try out. For example, in chapter 3 is coming to our senses. It says, creative writing begins with dedicated sensory perception, a reverence for the inexhaustible stream of data about the physical world and other people that flows like an undercurrent through our conscious lives. Yet sensory perception is so primal and automatic, so available, that the beginning writer may dismiss it as a source of material. I think that's so interesting because we get so accustomed to things going on around us that we can tune it out. I remember when I lived in New York, there would be people visiting me and they would notice things like, wow, it's really loud, those constant beeping of the horns and the taxis and all the things going on is a lot. And for me, I think you kind of get so used to it after a while that, oh yeah, I guess there is a lot of horns honking. So sometimes we can lose sight of our surroundings if we don't intentionally take time to notice it. And one thing that also really inspired me, when I lived in New York, there's this jazz bar that I used to go to, and I remember going in after work and there was this guy sitting next to me who also would come in after the day, and he was a writer. And so I remember him sitting there and he was like, yeah, I come down here and I just listen, and he takes it all in, and you use your senses of hearing the jazz music, and maybe you overhear someone's conversation and you can bounce ideas off the bartender, and you sit and just have a drink and enjoy your surroundings for a moment. And then you can use that to fuel your creative work. So I think all of us need to step away from whatever we're working on as creative people to go out in the world and pay attention to our senses, our sight, smell, taste, hearing, like what's going on around you, and take it all in for a moment. So in this book, there's an exercise that you can do called Observing Environment. It says, choose a place in your world that offers a lot of stimulation to the senses. Make yourself comfortable there with your notebook, and for 15 minutes or so, record what you can see, hear, smell, touch, and taste. Notice that you can vary your distance from close up to panorama. Concentrate on vividness and precision in your choice of words so that your reader will have the illusion of actually being there. And I thought that was so interesting, so I tried it, and you really do notice and appreciate things around you more so when you're paying attention to it. I sat in one spot for 15 minutes out by the water, and it was kind of a windy day, so there was wind blowing through all the trees, and I noticed this little purple tape on the bottom of a picnic table that I was sitting across from. Usually you don't notice those small details if you're just kind of passing through. And at one point I was sitting there and I was so aware of my surroundings, the sounds that I was hearing. There was a car that drove by, they were blasting country music, there was some kids in the distance and they were chattering, and then there were some older men sitting at a table across the way, and I kind of heard their mumbles of their conversation. And I noticed such a beauty in the air that I was smelling because it was fresh breeze coming in. There were people wind sailing on the water, there were waves that day. And I even noticed this sign that said, Restoration in Progress. And it kind of reminded me, so this sign was here so that people wouldn't walk through the area that they were in the process of restoring. And it made me think, what if we as humans, we went through something traumatic, or we were in process of rebuilding our lives, or something in our life was in the process of being restored, and it gives people around us the extra warning to be gentle on this person, take caution, like they're building up, they're restoring. And I thought, this is all of us. We're constantly restorations in progress, and we should treat each other gentle and allow each other this space to flourish and grow and not trample all over. So interesting thoughts. I didn't really expect that would come up when I was out there journaling and observing my surroundings, but yeah, I thought it was really interesting. So you just never know. You can sit out with a notebook and observe what's around you, what's in the air, what do you see, what do you hear, what do you smell, and just take it all in for a moment for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however long you want. It's a really good act in just being present. So yeah, a lot to think about, and I encourage everyone to try this practice. Things will come up that you might not have expected to, but it's really interesting. So yeah, try it out for yourself and let me know how it goes. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos every time I post, and I will see you in my next video.